The lesson outcome for this video is, I can multiply and divide rational expressions after factoring. So, what we have to remember here is that the first thing we need to do if we want to multiply two fractions, two rational expressions, is that we need to factor everything in every single numerator and denominator. And again, pay attention to the fact that this is multiply, not divide. And then after we have factored everything, then we can do a bunch of canceling before we multiply or divide these fractions. So we always start by factoring. Now notice this is a quadratic with a leading coefficient of 1. So we're going to take our C term, that's the positive 2 right there, and we're going to say what are the factors of 2? Well, 1 times 2. Do these add up to our middle term? Yes, they do. Our middle term right here of 3, a positive 3. So we have our factors. We can put in our parentheses, x here, and then we need a plus 1 and a plus 2. So we factored that. The denominator of this fraction is x squared minus 4. Remember, this is a difference of squares. When we have a difference of squares, we can factor that in a quick method by simply putting our two sets of parentheses down. Again, because we have subtraction and a perfect square and a perfect square. Put our parentheses down. We're going to put an x in the front of both. We're going to put a 2 at the end of both sets of parentheses because 2 times 2 is 4. And then we put a plus in one and a minus in the other. On the next one, we have a C term of 8. Again, A is 1. 8 is 1 times 2. I'm sorry, 1 times 8, pardon me, or 2 times 4. Getting ahead of myself. And we need the ones that are going to add up to this positive 6x here. So we have 2 and 4 that adds up to 6. We're going to put our parentheses down, write an x here and here. We need a plus 2 and a plus 4. Now we've got 7 as our C term, again with our A value out here being 1. We're just going to put the C value out here. 7 is only 1 times 7, and they do add up to our middle term of positive 8. So we can put our parentheses down. We have x here and x here. We got a plus 1 and a plus 7. Now that everything is factored, before we multiply across our numerators and our denominators, we want to cancel out any common factors that we see. Alright, so, and again, it can be anything in the numerator, no matter which fraction it's in, with anything in all the denominators, because multiplication here could be just rewritten with this fraction bar being one big fraction bar with multiplication here. So, start canceling out any common factors. I see an x plus 1 and an x plus 1. I see an x plus 2 in the denominator and x plus 2 in the numerator. Notice you can't cancel out x plus 2 and x plus 2 both in the numerator. And it looks like that's about all that we can cancel. So we are left, notice also, we cannot cancel x plus 2 with x minus 2. So we're left with x plus 2 times x plus 4 over x minus 2, x plus 7. So that is our simplified answer for that multiplication problem. Now let's try one division problem. And similar to previous lessons, the first thing you want to pay attention to again is that division sign right there. We want to change the division sign to a multiplication sign. So I'm going to change that to multiplication, but if I do that, I need to take the reciprocal of the second fraction. So I'm going to carefully take the numerator and rewrite it down in the denominator. So x squared plus 12x plus 27. Cross that out up here. And I'm going to move my x squared plus 6x plus 8 to the numerator and cancel that, or cross that out, I should say, in the denominator. So now we are ready to go, ready to multiply, and in order to do that, we need to factor all the numerators and denominators of this fraction, of these rational expressions. So I'd like you to pause the video and factor the numerator using the skills we learned on the previous screen and the denominator for every one of these. Then check back to see if you have the correct factors. Okay, so hopefully these are the factor pairs you ended up with in each of the numerators and denominators. Check those out. If you have any of those wrong, you should talk to me in class about what is going on there and why you have the wrong factors. And now we can go ahead and cancel any common factors that we see. All right, so I see an x plus 9 in the numerator and the denominator, and I see an x plus 4 in the numerator and the denominator, and at this point I do not see any additional common factors. So x minus 1, x plus 2, x minus 4, and x plus 3.